understand that this was a pretty life-changing moment for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it really was. I had the best time at the Dundas Learning Center today, but the investigation began 4 years ago after there was a surge of complaints in regards to the gaps in care for those with special needs. Now the report reveals thousands of adults with disabilities and their families were failed by the system. The Dundas Learning Center is a safe haven for adults with special needs, but according to today's report, this is a luxury in Ontario.
Vulnerable people with complex needs were living in hospitals, long-term care homes, homeless shelters, and jails.
The report is based on more than 1,300 complaints and 200 interviews, including tragic stories of neglect and abuse.
Certainly very sorry about the situations. I must say, when I read the Ombudsman's report, the first draft that we got, and I heard the individual cases, there's no question I was appalled.
The local center was among the interviewed. And a day program like this not only allows them to interact with one another, but also allows them to learn life skills like this, typing on a computer. The center says there's a dire need for help from the province.
If you listen to parents, you certainly hear that many, many times over, that heartfelt plea of, I need somewhere for my child to go.
The ministry says 1,400 adults with special needs will receive housing by 2018. That's just a sliver of the 9,000 who are currently without permanent residency. The center says a majority of those helped will be adults in crisis who may have lost a parent or both parents.
And that individual who has grown up, say, here on the street in Dundas, you know, and is suddenly shipped to maybe Stony Creek, which doesn't to you and I seem a huge distance, but to that individual who has no method of traveling back and forth, it's massive.
Instead, they hope the province steps in before a crisis.
So when the parents do go, it's not a loss of everything.
The Ombudsman hammered the government for its hands-off stance and recommends it take more leadership. And the ministry says they accept all 60 recommendations and will work on each one of them. They will have to report back to the Ombudsman in 6 months. Back to you. And while there are signs posted all over the area warning visitors about the dangers of the falls, it doesn't stop Albion Falls from being one of the most popular tourist attractions in Hamilton.
More fencing is not really going to stop people. People want adventure, you know what I mean?
Like, Hamilton's known for all its falls. If you start fencing everything, it kind of ruins it.
Like, use at your own risk. Like, you can't expect to like come to a place like this and not be careful yourself.
The city also says it has installed a safe viewing platform by the falls. Now, Hamilton police are still investigating. They are saying that foul play or suicide are not suspected. They are calling it a tragic accident. Taz, back to you.
All right, thank you. Isabelle Raghem reporting live for us.
And some of today's training also involves breaking through glass and rescuing patients out of a car. I also got to break the frame of the van. Proof. While Delta was able to fix its computer system just before 9 this morning, some passengers had already missed their connecting flights, so they'll be spending an extra night in a hotel room. Now, participants going over the edge are rappelling 338 feet, something they say is worth it for the cause. Up until today, only vehicles with 2 or more occupants could use the HOV lanes. Now, with the help of this permit, single drivers can also have access to them. After being closed off to the public for nearly 3 years, the garden is finally opening its doors this weekend with a new modern look. Every morning since June, Patty DeGia puts on her prosthetic leg. It's something she waited 9 years to do since she lost her leg to cancer.
I never thought it was going to happen. I can honestly tell you that. I threw out all the right sides of my shoes.
Back in January, CHCH aired a piece about the single mother. The home bakery she started to raise funds for a new leg was shut down after being reported to public health. Shortly after airing, a GoFundMe page set up for the mother quickly grew, but what happened next, she never expected.
I get a phone call from a lawyer representing an anonymous donor who said that they saw my story. He's like, well, can we just deal with you? Because we would like to offer you $40,000 for your leg.
That donation, along with another $16,000, allowed her to get this $100,000 prosthetic leg. Now, for the first time in their lives, her sons Dashiell and Ethan will walk with their mom to school.
Very happy because I'd never seen my mom walk before in my life, and now I can. Yeah, I'm really excited for the first time in a long time.
Patty DeGia says taking her kids on this 15-minute walk means the world.
My dream came true today, and after 9 years of not being able to walk, and my two boys who know nothing about their mother as an able-bodied person actually had a mom today, like everybody else, who can walk and hold their hands and take them to school.
She says she doesn't hold a grudge against the person who reported her bakery earlier this year.
In essence, I should actually thank her, because if she didn't start this, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't change anything of my journey to get to this point because of this day.
With her new leg, Patty DeGia says she looks forward to biking and playing with her kids and regaining the freedom she thought was lost. Isabelle Raghem, CHCH News.
Oh, you can feel the heat. Holy sh!
As the wildfire in Fort McMurray chokes residents out, many are leaving so fast they don't have any clothes, food, or water. Alberta Premier Rachel Notley says more than 1,600 structures have already been destroyed, but people's safety is her top priority.
And our focus right now is just getting those folks to leave the communities.
And support from provinces across the country has been remarkable ever since the news of the disaster broke.
Ontario will be dispatching 119 staff to Alberta this week to assist in managing the fire, 100 firefighters and 19 support staff, and we thank them for their service, and we want them to come home safely, but our hearts are with the people in Alberta right now.
But with the dispatch set for Friday, some people have been wondering, will this be enough support for the magnitude of the disaster?
Obviously, we need to be cognizant of what will be occurring or potentially occurring on the ground here in Ontario. So right now, the number of 119 was arrived at in conversations between both groups.
This afternoon, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said aircrafts from the Canadian Forces have been put on standby.
We have mobilized a certain number of Canadian Forces aircraft to be there for supporting the province of Alberta if it becomes necessary and as it becomes necessary.
Earlier this morning, Trudeau said the support shared coast to coast highlights the generosity of Canadians.
Canada is a country where we look out for our neighbours, and we are there for each other in difficult times, and certainly in Fort McMurray, the difficult times they're going through right now is something that we're going to unite around.
And that unity was clear on social media, as tweets with a link to the Red Cross website were trending. The Red Cross says thousands of Canadians have already donated for the cause, but officials say it won't be for a few more days until they find out exactly just how much. They're still encouraging people to head online and check out their website to donate as much as they can.
The money that the Red Cross is raising is going to provide emergency assistance to people affected by the emergency. So this can be anything from food and clothing and shelter to long-term recovery assistance.
Red Cross volunteers in Ontario say they're ready to help if they get called in.
So right now we're on standby in a number of locations. We have volunteers and material pre-positioned.
A group on Facebook has also been created, helping people who had to evacuate find a new place to call home, at least for the next little while. Now, we reached out to the Red Cross this evening to find out just how much had been donated. They told us they didn't have those numbers quite ready for us just yet, but they are still encouraging Canadians to donate money rather than clothing or different household items, and you can do that by texting the word Red Cross at 30333. That'll be donating $5 to the relief efforts there in Alberta. Back to you, Taz.
Let's hope people are generous with their money. All right, thanks, Isabelle.
As the sun was shining down on Simcoe, hundreds of children were seen smiling ear to ear on the fairgrounds today. Thousands enjoying the last of this year's Norfolk County Fair. What is the best part about the Norfolk County Fair?
Games. The slide.
The smile on his face. That's all you need to do, right?
I too got to enjoy the attractions. And one of the most popular rides here, the bumper cars. And of course, many were there to enjoy the renowned food, including little Emma, who seemed to enjoy her very first deep-fried cheesecake.
Deep-fried Twinkie.
Deep-fried peanut butter and jam sandwich.
The fair turns 176 this year, and many have been coming here for as long as they can remember.
I've been coming since I was a kid. So the kids get the day off on school on Tuesday, and then we come once on the weekends.
We come every year. Yeah, since I was a kid.
Yeah, we grew up in Norfolk County, so we've always done Fair Day every Tuesday, which is great.
The county fair says it's that family tradition that makes it a success year after year.
It's the #1 reason people come to the fair. And we embrace that because we provide the atmosphere where you can bring your family and see almost any display and find out what attracts you and what interests you, what's your passion.
Another tradition, the one-man band who dedicated this song to us.
All right, you're watching CHCH, otherwise known as Cha-Cha.
I do a lot of fairs across North America, including a lot of big U.S. state fairs, as well as the Calgary Stampede every year. And by far, to me, this is my favorite Ontario fair.
Before leaving, many stopped by the vendors to pick up some fudge or played games in hope of walking away with a prize. And with hockey season fast approaching, I'm going to try to win myself one of these jerseys. Tawny, can I get the ball? Thank you. And with a little TV magic, I'm a winner. While the fair closes its doors tonight at 8, organizers say they're already working on next year's lineup. Isabelle Raghem, CHCH News in Simcoe. All right, so we're here with Rob, one of the puppeteers on this show. So can you talk to us a bit about this big puppet here?
This is Taruk. This is the creature of the show. The creature that the show is named after.
Yeah.
So she's here at rest right now, but you'll see her in action during the show.
How big is she? How heavy is she?
She's what we call a reverse marionette.
Okay.
As a puppet, it takes 6 people to operate her, and she's pretty big.
Yeah.
She's not the size of the actual Taruk in the movie, but she takes up a lot of space in the show. She's pretty impressive when you see her live.
And when we're talking about costumes now, we've got over 150 costumes.
Yeah.
How do you guys all keep track of that? There's lots of performers. How do you make sure you're not taking somebody else's costume?
Well, we all have a number. I'm number 9. These have number 9s in them.
Yeah.
Our wardrobe department is amazing. They keep us all on track. They make sure that we have all the proper pieces that we need, and they do all of our presets.
What's your favorite part about the show here? So we've got this guy right here, but what's one of your favorite elements?
This is one of our other, the Viper Wolves, which if you've seen Avatar, they're in the movie as well. So the creatures of Pandora in our show are all represented by puppets. That's one of the puppeteers that makes all the creatures come to life.
How heavy is it?
He's about 25 pounds.
A workout or?
It's a workout,
Yeah.
and you'll see when you come and see the show that it's definitely a workout. And I mean, we get to live and embody this space, which is an amazing thing. We really go on Pandora with these animals.
So with a show like this, in a few days you're in London now. How are you guys going back and forth so quickly?
We travel, again, the team here at Cirque is amazing in terms of the organizational, the logistics are incredible. Our management team is like top notch, and it's so much to be able to transport not only the show, but also all of us and all of the equipment, from place to place. So sometimes we take buses, sometimes we take charter flights.
Perfect. So tickets are still available at the box office or online. The shows are running through the weekend on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, so you can head online and get some tickets for the great show.